Hello everyone and welcome. In this video, we'll be reviewing the film Sound of Freedom. The film was made 5 years ago but was released now in the year 2023 for reasons we will go over shortly. The film was directed and written by Mexican film director Alejandro Monteverde, who has a promising career in film. His first film, Bella, took home top prize at the 2006 Toronto International Film Festival by winning the People's Choice Awards. I assume his second film, being Sound of Freedom, continues to show the amount of talent he has as a director. The film was also written by Rod Barr, produced by Eduardo V. Cinematography was helmed by Gorka Gomez and Andrew Aek. Edited by Brian Schofield. Music done by Javier Navarrete. Do apologize for mispronouncing any names. All of which did a great job with this film. They all used their talents to really bring emotion to this film. Just really good stuff on their end. The film was produced by Santa Fe Films and distributed by Angel Studios, which is a Christian faith-based film company, which is such a rare and beautiful thing to see. Hollywood is full of such anti-God and hedonistic rhetoric that it's finally refreshing to get a faith-based studio to promote good, clean values and virtues, where working hard and sacrifice is what's really important, not stabbing people in the back to climb the ladder of success or some superhero movie of some kind. Though more on this later. The film has a runtime of around 131 minutes and has a budget of about $14.5 million, which is fairly low. In fact, one of the lower budgeted films I've ever seen or reviewed here on this channel. However, the cheapness is not visible in any way. Whoever was in charge of finances along with the creative directive use did a fantastic job at making the film look like a professional, making it look as professional as possible and as high quality as possible given this low budget. You are never once aware of any low quality as a viewer. The film has grossed over $45.7 million at the box office and is trending to make even more profits. Everyone I know is going to see this movie, and I truly recommend you do too. Just a good movie with an even greater message. More on that later. For now, we will go over the cast before going over the plot, then reviewing the film as a whole, before perhaps going over any spoilers of the film, of which you will be warned beforehand. The film stars Jim Caviezel, Mira Scorvino, and Bill Camp, among others. The summary, in short, is about a Homeland Security investigator named Tim Ballard and is investigating human trafficking, specifically child trafficking. He finds a young boy who pleads him to find his sister who has been trafficked with him, though separated. He takes up the challenge and looks for her. During the search, he exhausts his financial support and backing from the Department of Homeland Security, and they tell him to call off the investigation to stop looking for her. He resigns and continues to search for her with the help of a former cartel accountant named Vampiro. Thankfully, he finds her and brings attention to the horrors of this atrocious multi-billion-dollar industry. So the film overall is terrific, really well done for the limited budget and uphill battle to even get this on theaters, and there are rumors that members of the entertainment industry are themselves involved in human or child trafficking. The cinematography was great, good shots of characters and dialogue to make you feel the intensity. Of course, that was accomplished with good work done by editing and music. The music was was overall very good, did a real good job of making you feel all the necessary emotions in this film. This is as good. The ending of the film was followed by text that reveals the magnitude of modern-day human trafficking via statistics. For instance, there are more slaves in captivity now than in any other time in history, even when it was legal and socially acceptable. The industry is worth a multi-billion dollars annually. I'm not sure if this was in the beginning or stated at the end of the film, but we're told that the USA is the biggest importer of child trafficking for child sex. Which makes sense since we're one of the wealthiest nations in the world, and once the wealthy people exhaust all forms of pleasure, they will look for greater extremes to satiate their endless hunger for this pleasure. A bit of an odd tangent, I know, but you'll only ever realize or associate this type of criminal activity with wealthy individuals, since the sale of humans is not something a poor person can afford unless they themselves are directly involved with a low level of kidnapping, etc. For instance, if you were to buy a child or an adult for child trafficking, that could range in the tens of thousands, if not $100,000. So, 99.99% of the human population doesn't have that kind of money to buy such a thing, nor any of the inclination to do so. But I digress. Now, given this information, it's both saddening and sickening. And you may ask yourself, what can you do to stop this? I mean, how can you contribute? Well, first, being aware is the first step, of course. Being aware and letting others know. The second step would be to fund this film by purchasing tickets for yourself or your friends. If it's not in your budget, consider donating to the studio directly if that's even an option, or buying the tickets when they are cheap. For instance, the theater I go to has tickets for very cheap on days where there's low attendance, for instance on Tuesdays. Perhaps the theater near you will have this similar sale. Go ahead and call to ask. Once a film like this is funded properly and millions of people are aware, change can start to occur. Once those millions of people include relevant authorities, you will start to see real change in this industry. More people will be locked up, and more people will be freed from this horrible slavery. So please go see this film. If you're too busy but still want to support it, buy a ticket anyway, give it to a friend or loved one, hell, perhaps even a stranger. The ticket's already bought and thus supported the studio. This will show Hollywood we no longer want to waste time and money on superhero movies, but on films that talk about real issues that establish a dialogue that allows the public to focus their interest and energy on stopping these horrible crimes instead of talking about which superhero is cooler or which movie is hotter for the summer. Overall, a great movie. The controversy of this film includes media outlets oddly downplaying the seriousness of the situation and calling certain aspects of the film a conspiracy theory when this is so obviously a true thing. Child trafficking, human trafficking is a real, horrible criminal enterprise. It's a horrible industry that does exist. Not to mention, Disney, buying the parent company who owned the film, purposely shelved it for years. Everyone worked hard on this film, and even harder to get it out. Please watch and share this movie and message with friends right up along with this video and channel. If you guys like the video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and hit the notification bell for more content. Share it with friends. I do appreciate all of you. Thank you so much for watching. Take care, and I'll see you in the next one. God bless.